Life is a mixture of challenges and successes. None of us escape the stones life throws into our waters. Some stones are small, some are heavy. Some arrive when we least expect them, and when they come one after another, the shallow pond cannot hold them. It reacts violently, it clouds, it harms, it loses its clarity. The way water reacts depends on its depth. A shallow pond splashes sharply, disturbed by every stone. A deep lake absorbs the impact, softens the waves, and quickly returns to calm. And we are the same. When our body is strong, we weather illness. When our mind is deep, we weather challenges. When our heart is grounded, we weather emotional storms. When our spirit is connected, we weather uncertainty. A healthy lake's water is a balanced mixture of elements. Minerals, oxygen, light, movement, all working together in harmony. Balance is not perfection. It is the quiet art of adjustment again and again, as life changes around us. When balance is lost, even small vibrations grow into instability. Just as a car with unbalanced tires shakes more the faster it moves, our lives become unstable when one part of us is neglected. The ancient wisdom traditions understood this truth. Some indigenous nations of Canada's west coast express it through the medicine wheel. 4 elements that must be in harmony: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. If one is neglected, the wheel does not turn smoothly. If 2 are neglected, the journey becomes difficult. If 3 are neglected, life becomes unstable. Balance is not a luxury. It is what keeps us steady when life speeds up. Balance is not one definition, it is personal. Each of us sees the 4 quadrants differently, and each situation we experience gives them new meaning. Our physical world. Generally speaking, it includes everything connected to our material life, our health, food, lifestyle, work, and the body itself. From the health lens, it is our physical activity, our movement, and the way we care for the body. Our emotional world. Generally speaking, it is the inner climate of our feelings, joy, sadness, fear, love, and the connections that shape how we relate to life. From the health lens, emotional balance reduces stress, supports heart stability, and strengthens our resilience. Our mental world. Generally speaking, it is the world of our thoughts, clarity, focus, imagination, learning, and the perspectives that shape how we understand life. From the health lens, mental balance supports healthy sleep, reduces fatigue, and sharpens our decision-making. Our spiritual world. Generally speaking, it is not religion or meditation, but connection with nature, with the Creator for some, and with the balance that shapes our place in the world. From the health lens, it is environmental healing, the influence of light, air, water, natural rhythms, and sensory coherence on our inner state. These definitions are not fixed. They shift with our journey, our culture, our experience. What matters is not how we name them, but how we balance them. Because when one is neglected, the wheel does not turn smoothly. And when all 4 are cared for, life flows with harmony. When life shifts suddenly, the surface of our world trembles. A single event, a loss, a revelation, a turning point, sends ripples through every layer of being. The wheel that once held our balance fractures, its pieces rising and falling like echoes of what was. In these moments, we don't lose ourselves. We meet the truth of change. The emotional world expands, breaks, and begins to reshape. This is not destruction, it's renewal. Before change becomes visible, it begins beneath the surface. The water shimmers, not from wind, but from something deeper stirring. Major change doesn't announce itself, it whispers through reflection. This is the moment before awareness, when the world still looks calm, yet everything inside is shifting. The lake listens, the body listens, the emotional world prepares to move. There is a moment in life when everything feels aligned. A steady line, a quiet center, a moment where all four worlds, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, hold each other in harmony. This isn't perfection, it's alignment. The kind of balance that comes from living, learning, and recalibrating over time. In this stable zone, we feel grounded, present, connected, and from here we can meet whatever change is coming, not with fear, but with awareness. Major change is anything that shifts the ground beneath us. Sometimes it arrives suddenly, a loss, a transition, a truth we didn't expect. Other times it builds quietly, until one day we realize the world inside us has already begun to move. When change touches us deeply, it doesn't stay in one place. It moves through the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual worlds, each one responding in its own way. To recalibrate our balance, we need to go through a healing cycle. Not a straight line, not a test, but a natural rhythm the human heart follows as it finds its way back to balance. Every stage has meaning, every stage has purpose, and every stage is part of how we return to ourselves. The first step of the healing cycle is shock. It's the moment when life changes faster than we can understand. Reality shifts. The ground moves, and for a brief moment, the whole system freezes. The body goes still, the mind becomes quiet. The emotional world pulls back, trying to protect us from the full weight of what just happened. In shock, we're not processing, we're absorbing. It's the natural pause before the heart begins to respond. Not a failure, not a flaw. Simply the human system doing what it must to keep us safe. After the initial shock, the mind tries to make sense of what happened. It reaches for the familiar, for the version of reality that felt safe just moments before. Denial is that instinctive pullback toward what we knew, a quiet hope that maybe nothing has changed. In this stage, we question, we minimize, we delay, not because we're avoiding the truth, but because the truth is still too large to hold all at once. Denial gives us time. Time for the heart to catch up with the moment. Time for the emotional world to prepare for what comes next. As the truth becomes harder to push away, energy returns, fast and intense. Anger rises not because we are wrong, but because something important has been disrupted. In this stage, the emotional world wakes up. We feel the impact of what happened, and the body reacts with heat, tension, and urgency. Anger is the mind trying to regain control, the heart trying to defend what it cared about, the spirit pushing back against the loss of balance. This stage isn't about blame. It's the release of pressure that's been building since the moment everything changed. A necessary surge, clearing space for what comes next. At the lowest point of the healing cycle, the mind begins to negotiate with reality. We search for explanations, for reasons, for anything that might make the pain feel smaller or more controllable. In this stage, we replay moments, rewrite conversations, and imagine different outcomes. We ask, what if, and if only. Not because we can change the past, but because we are trying to understand it. Sometimes this negotiation turns inward and we blame ourselves. Sometimes it turns outward and we blame others. Blame isn't the truth, it's a temporary anchor, a way for the mind to feel less lost when everything feels overwhelming. Bargaining is the mind's attempt to regain balance in the middle of imbalance. A natural human effort to make sense of what feels senseless. And though it is the deepest point of the descent, it is also the turning point, the moment before the heart begins to rise again. When the mind can no longer negotiate its way out of the pain, the heart begins to feel it. Sadness arrives quietly, not as a collapse but as a release. The fight fades. The questions settle. The pressure that built through anger and bargaining finally loosens its grip. In sadness, we acknowledge what was lost, what changed, and what can't be undone. Tears, heaviness, silence. These are not signs of weakness, but signs that the heart is finally telling the truth. Sadness is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of healing, the moment when discovery and acceptance become possible, and the path upward quietly begins. After sadness softens the heart, something quiet begins to change. a small opening appears, not in the world but within us. Discovery is the moment when clarity returns in gentle fragments. A new thought, a new breath, a new way of seeing what we could not face before. Nothing is forced. Nothing is rushed. The mind lifts its gaze, the heart loosens its grip, and the world feels slightly more possible than it did a moment ago. In discovery, we begin to understand what the pain was trying to teach us. We notice the first signs of balance returning, the early light, the subtle movement, the quiet rise. This is the path upward, the moment when healing becomes active and acceptance starts to take shape in the distance. Acceptance is not agreement, and it is not surrender. It is the moment when we stop resisting what has already happened. The heart becomes steady. The mind becomes clear. The body exhales. In acceptance, we see the truth without fear, without denial, without the need to fight or negotiate. What once felt overwhelming now becomes something we can hold with both hands. This is where balance returns, quietly, naturally, like light settling on water. The world has not changed, but our relationship to it has. Acceptance is the place where healing becomes real, where the journey upward completes its rise, and the spirit begins to move freely again. Every challenge shakes the wheel. Every challenge shakes the wheel, but we do not need to abandon the journey each time it happens. When we walk away too soon, we start again from a negative point, losing the depth we've already built. We must complete the full healing cycle: shock, denial, anger, bargaining, sadness, discovery, and acceptance. When we stop before acceptance, unresolved emotions accumulate, weakening our depth and resilience for the next challenge. Many people carry the weight of past experiences, not the truth of the present. Instead, we turn inward. We use the depth of our knowledge and experience, the wisdom gathered through every rise and fall. And when the balance feels too heavy to hold alone, we seek support from others, from nature, from spirit. This is how we recalibrate, not by escaping the challenge, but by deepening ourselves within it. The wheel turns again, steady, whole, alive. Not every imbalance is a storm. Sometimes life shifts quietly, a restless night, a moment of doubt, a change in rhythm. These are the small ripples, the natural movements of living. They don't demand reinvention, they ask for awareness. We use the depth we've already built and our knowledge, our experience, our connection to recalibrate. We pause, notice what is missing, and respond with honesty and care. Minor changes are not failures, they are signals. They remind us that balance is alive, always adjusting, always learning to move again. Balance lives in awareness. When life shifts, we draw the circle again, not to fix, but to understand. Draw a circle, divide it into 4 quadrants: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. In each, ask what feels missing. If you feel disconnected, write it down. Then ask what restores connection. Prayer, silence, a walk in the forest, a moment of truth. The answer is always there, waiting beneath awareness. Make this reflection a habit, like balancing your car's tires, keeping your life aligned and steady. Because balance isn't found once, it's maintained through attention. And attention is the quiet art of living. Living is an art. It is not a formula, not a system, not a rigid path. It is an expression of what we want, how we act, how we shape our journey. This is the art of balanced, healthy, active living. Balanced by caring for and harmonizing our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual worlds. Healthy by aligning with nature and coherence, letting life flow through us instead of against us. Active by engaging fully with life regardless of circumstances. Circumstances do not define us. We define them by the way we respond. As James Allen reminded us more than a century ago, we make our circumstances by the way we deal with them. The art of living is not about perfection. It is about expression. A portrait always changing, drawn by you, the brush in your hands, to enjoy painting and to fulfill your purpose, the artist of your life. And the beauty is not in the finished picture, but in the way we keep painting.